Spice Math. That's right. You can add it up, multiply it, man. Spice Math. Oh, yeah. A couple things we're gonna learn today. Spice Math. All right. Take some time, educate yourself. Spice Math. That's right. You won't believe it's just math. Come on.
Hi, I'm Ruth Doughton.
Hi, I'm Erin Williams.
Hi, I'm Brandon Alexander.
Hi, I'm Kelvin Doughton.
Hello, I'm Lyndon Sincere.
We are your Spice Math tutors.
You won't believe it's just math. Just math.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Spice Math, a series of mathematical videos to help you, the viewers, remove your fears out of math. In this session, we are going to be looking at part 2 of solving linear equations. Let's have a look at today's objectives. At the end of this episode, you should be able to 1. Form linear equations, and 2. Solve linear equations by multiplying and dividing throughout by a constant. All you will need to get through this lesson with me are a pen, pencil, and a notebook. Let's warm up our brains a bit. Fun fact, did you know an equation can be used to represent and solve real-life scenarios? Let's have a look at an example. I will read the example. Charlie has X pieces of fried chicken. Tom has 3 times as much. Together, they have 21 pieces of fried chicken. You actually can personalize the scenario for better understanding by replacing Charlie with I and replacing Tom with any one of your friends' names. So what we're going to do now is that we're going to break up the scenario into pieces. So my statement says Charlie has X pieces of fried chicken. Tom has 3 times as much. And in mathematics, 3 times as much simply means that Tom has 3 times X pieces of chicken, which is equivalent to 3x. And the third part of this scenario states that together they have 21 pieces of fried chicken. So my entire equation would write Charlie has X pieces of fried chicken. Tom has 3 times as much, and together they have 21 pieces of fried chicken. If you viewed part 1 of solving linear equations, you would have came across maintaining the balance on both sides of the equation by adding the same quantity or constant to each side of the equation, or subtracting the same quantity or constant from each side of the equation. What we're going to look at today is another way of maintaining that balance to the equation by multiplying both sides of the equation. Let's look at an example together. Our first example is x over 4 is equal to 11. We're going to solve this equation, and we're going to do so by maintaining the balance of the equation. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to multiply our left-hand side of the equation by 4. The second step that we're going to take is to multiply the right-hand side of the equation by 4 as well. By multiplying our left-hand side by 4, we're now able to cancel out our 4's, leaving x as the subject of our equation and we have x is equal to 44. So what we have just done is that we solved our linear equation, which means that x is the subject of our equation and x is equal to 44. We would have done so by maintaining balance on both sides of the equation by multiplying by the same quantity or constant. Let me demonstrate a few more examples. So again, we're going to multiply the left-hand side by 4, as well as the right-hand side by that same quantity or constant, which is 4. So that will leave us with 4x over 4 is equal to 28. Because I multiplied my left-hand side by 4, I'm able to get rid of the 4 and have x alone being equal to 28. So the solution for our equation, linear equation, x over 4 is equal to 7, our solution will be x is equal to 28. Our second example, m over 2 is equal to 5. Same thing again. Multiply your left-hand side by 2. And do the same to your right-hand side. So we'll get 2m over 2 is equal to 10. Now that we multiplied our left-hand side by 2, we're able to cross off our 2's because 2 into 2 is 1. So that leaves us with m is equal to 10. Our third example is t over 6 is equal to 5. Multiply your left-hand side by 6 and do the same to your right-hand side. So we will get 6t over 6 is equal to 30. 6 into 6, 1. So now we have t is equal to 30. Our fourth and final example for multiplication would be L over 3 is equal to 2. So for the left-hand side, we're going to multiply by 3, and we're going to do the same to our right-hand side. We will end up with 3L over 3 is equal to 6. 3 into 3, 1. Therefore, L is equal to 6. Now that we've went through a couple of examples, it's now your turn to try these for yourself. So we looked at multiplying to maintain balance. Now we'll look at dividing, because the balance of a linear equation can also be maintained by dividing both sides of the equation by the same quantity or constant. Let's look at an example. 3p is equal to 15. So for our left-hand side, we're going to divide throughout by 3 because the goal is to solve for p. And we're going to do the same to our right-hand side. Three into 3, 1, so we're left with p. And 15 divided by 3 is 5. Now I will demonstrate a few more examples with you. Negative 6x is equal to 36. We're going to solve for x by dividing both sides of our equation by negative 6. So for our left-hand side, we're dividing by negative 6. And for our right-hand side, we're also dividing by negative 6. So negative 6 into negative 6 is 1. Therefore, we have x is equal to 36 divided by negative 6, leaves us with positive 6. Second example, 5d is equal to 20. We're going to divide our left-hand side throughout by 5, as well as our right-hand side by 5. 5 into 5 is 1. 5 into 20 is 4. Therefore, d is equal to 4. For our third example, 7a is equal to 42. Once again, we're going to divide our left-hand side by 7 because we want to solve for a. So 7a divided by 7 is equal to, we're also dividing our right-hand side by 7, so 42 divided by 7. So 7 into 7 is 1, which leaves us with a. 42 divided by 7 is 6. Therefore, the solution for this is a is equal to 6. For our fourth and final example, 5u is equal to 45. Once again, we're going to divide our left-hand side by 5 because we're solving for u. And we're going to divide our right-hand side by 5 also. 5 into 5, 1. So we're left with u. 45 divided by 5 is 9. So therefore, our answer is u is equal to 9. Now that we've went through some examples with division, it's your turn now to try a few for yourself. The two operations outlined in this video are operations that you can use to solve linear equations. Now, recall and write all the 4 operations that you can use to maintain balance and solve your linear equations. You can add the same quantity to both sides of the equation, subtract the same quantity from both sides of the equation, multiply both sides of the equation by the same quantity, and finally, divide both sides of the equation by the same quantity. By now, you should be able to solve linear equations using the 4 operations that we demonstrated in our videos for you. Please visit the link on the bottom of your screen to practice more. See you next time on Spice Math.
You won't believe it's just math.